32 years and 8 months. That's exactly how long a Franklin native will be in prison in Colombia.
In the early months of 2023, as the vibrant lights of Bogotá blended with the energetic rhythm of its nightlife, a horrific event shook the city. Valentina Trespalacios, a famous DJ and a symbol of youthful ambition, suddenly disappeared. Soon after, her body was discovered in a suitcase abandoned near El Dorado Airport. This image not only shocked Colombia, but also sent ripples through international media. Valentina's story began as a dream of success, a young woman from Bogotá rising to become a star in the entertainment industry. With her DJ skills, beauty, and charisma, she established herself not only domestically, but also on international stages. However, behind the spotlight, her life hid a darkness no one could have anticipated. The case raised not only the question of who the killer was, but also forced people to think about the hidden dangers in personal relationships. In Valentina's world, where art and freedom intertwined, how could a romantic story turn into the ultimate tragedy? And what really happened in her final moments? The truth behind the case is not simply a crime, but a complex story of love, obsession, and the terrible consequences when the lines between them are blurred. These questions will gradually be answered in the journey to uncover one of the most shocking cases of the year. Background and developments. At the age of 23, Valentina Trespalacios was a rising star in Colombia's electronic music scene. She was known for her stage presence and ability to captivate audiences. Valentina's success came not only from her DJ talent, but also from her relentless efforts to overcome challenges. She frequently performed at popular clubs in Bogotá and other cities, and was a familiar face at international music festivals. Her personal life seemed perfect. She was in a romantic relationship with a foreign man who often showed great interest in her, even covering significant costs related to her life and career. However, beneath the seemingly perfect relationship were early signs of control and jealousy. Valentina had confided in her friends and family that she felt pressured by his excessive demands and controlling behavior. On January 19, 2023, Valentina's boyfriend arrived in Bogotá, and the two of them moved into a new apartment. On the evening of January 20th, Valentina performed at the Nexus nightclub, where she was seen alive for the last time. Witnesses reported that the couple appeared to be happy, but the attention Valentina received from fans made her companion visibly uncomfortable. In the early hours of January 21st, surveillance cameras recorded the couple returning to the apartment. What happened next inside the apartment remains a mystery. The following day, Valentina's body was discovered, stuffed into a suitcase and discarded near El Dorado Airport. The crime scene was discovered by a trash picker who found a large suitcase wrapped in duct tape. Upon opening it, he found Valentina's body inside, wearing a nightgown, along with some of her personal belongings, such as her ID card. The body showed signs of strangulation and multiple injuries. The police quickly sealed off the area and launched an investigation. Bruises on Valentina's body, particularly around her neck and face, indicated a brutal attack. These marks, along with surveillance footage and Valentina's final messages, became crucial pieces of evidence in the case. The details began to paint a picture of a fateful night. An argument, a loss of control, and a plan to cover up the crime by disposing of the body. However, the identity of the person responsible and the true motive remained shrouded in mystery. What happened between two people who once loved each other that turned a romance into a tragedy? Was this the eruption of jealousy, or was there a deeper underlying reason? As more clues were revealed, the case grew increasingly complex, raising questions not only about the personal relationship, but also about the deeper societal issues surrounding violence and control in love. Information about the perpetrator. John Poulos, 36 years old. John Poulos, 36 years old, is an American businessman and the perpetrator of the murder of Valentina Trespalacios. He met Valentina through Tinder in 2022 and initially presented himself as the ideal partner, always generous and supportive of her career. However, over time, Poulos began displaying extreme jealousy and excessive control, even hiring a private investigator to monitor Valentina. Poulos had recently gone through a divorce and had 3 children. After the divorce, he transferred assets into an offshore fund to avoid child support obligations. These past events, combined with financial and family stress, seemed to have deeply affected his mental state. Poulos' instability and jealousy ultimately led cold-blooded crime, where he murdered Valentina and attempted to escape, carefully preparing everything to avoid being caught. The investigation and trial process. As soon as Valentina Trespalacios' body was discovered in a suitcase discarded near El Dorado Airport, investigators quickly focused on key clues. Surveillance cameras at the apartment complex where she and her boyfriend, John Poulos, had been staying recorded footage of a man carrying a heavy suitcase into his car in the early morning hours of January 22nd, just hours after Valentina was murdered. This suitcase was believed to contain Valentina's body, further linking Poulos to the crime and raising suspicions about his involvement. Missed calls and messages from Valentina's manager, along with her failure to appear at an important performance, further reinforced the theory that she had encountered a dangerous situation. Additionally, through Valentina's phone, the police discovered video calls that Poulos had demanded throughout their relationship, revealing his tight control and possessiveness over her. As soon as sufficient evidence was gathered, Colombian police issued an international warrant for Poulos. However, just 1 day after Valentina's body was discovered, Poulos had already fled Colombia and flown to Panama. He planned to continue his escape by purchasing a flight ticket to Istanbul. Despite his meticulous preparation, Poulos could not evade the authorities' pursuit. As he prepared to board his flight, Poulos was arrested at Panama's airport. In his luggage, investigators found a large amount of cash and credit cards, indicating that he had carefully planned his escape. Poulos attempted to defend himself by claiming he was being pursued by a criminal gang, but this explanation was quickly dismissed. A few days later, Poulos was extradited to Colombia, where he faced charges of murder and evidence tampering.
The Wisconsin man accused of killing his girlfriend in Colombia was back in court today. John Poulos is originally from Franklin, but he now finds himself in a Colombian jail for the murder of a DJ that has captured international attention.
CBS 58's Victor Acobo is here in the studio to share the latest update on this case. And Victor, where do things stand right now?
Yeah, Mike and Amanda, the court proceedings right now are in limbo. John Poulos is fighting for his freedom after being accused of killing Valentina Trespalacios. The Franklin man is trying to get the case tossed out on procedural grounds.
However, Poulos did not plead guilty. Instead, he attempted to justify his actions by claiming that Valentina's death was an accident caused by a sudden argument. Yet, his cold demeanor and unconvincing testimony only deepened public suspicion. What outraged many was Poulos' lack of remorse throughout the trial. He often laughed or displayed indifference at inappropriate moments, provoking widespread anger in the courtroom. Another notable aspect was the stark contrast between Poulos' lack of repentance and the irrefutable evidence against him. Psychological experts and witnesses even suggested that Poulos' behavior indicated signs of a controlling personality and possible psychological issues, further highlighting the dangers inherent in toxic relationships. Finally, in June 2024, the court sentenced John Poulos to 42 years in prison, holding him accountable for premeditated murder and evidence tampering. In addition to the lengthy prison term, Poulos was ordered to compensate Valentina's family and will be deported from Colombia upon completing his sentence. The trial concluded, but the case continued to stir public discourse about toxic relationships, control in love, and the devastating impact such dynamics can have.
42 years and 8 months. That's exactly how long a Franklin native will be in prison in Colombia.
A judge there found him guilty of femicide in the murder of his girlfriend. Sam Kramer's been following this. He's in the studio to catch us up to speed. Sam?
Hi, Lieutenant Mary. Since his arrest in late January of last year, John Poulos has claimed the police and courts in Colombia have not treated him fairly. But But this week, a judge decided it was Poulos who showed zero respect to his girlfriend in killing her and then leaving the country.
While it is possible that it may have been my body, my hands.
John Poulos says drugs are responsible for the death of his 21-year-old girlfriend, Valentina Trespalacios.
But it was not my mind, and it was not my intent.
Prosecutors say on January 22nd, 2023, the Franklin native hit and strangled her to death inside their Airbnb before stuffing her body into a suitcase. Security cameras show Poulos take the suitcase downstairs and load it into the back of his rental car. The suitcase and Trespalacios' body were found near a dumpster about 45 minutes away. Police arrested Poulos at an airport in Panama before extraditing him back to Colombia.
This case has really been John Poulos' word against all the evidence.
Richard Emblin has covered the case for the city paper Bogotá.
He admitted that it was the worst mistake of his life to have, let's say, left the apartment with Valentina's body in the suitcase.
Tuesday, the judge found Poulos guilty of femicide, the murder of a woman because of her gender, and of concealing evidence. He sentenced Poulos to 42 years and 8 months in prison, which was lower than the prosecution's request. And we'll note Colombia's justice system does not include jury trials. All evidence is presented for a judge to decide. The defense had argued that this was a homicide, not femicide, and asking for a lower sentence. They are expected to appeal that sentence. Mary?
All right, Sam, thank you.
The trial of John Poulos garnered significant attention not only due to the severity of the crime, but also because of the defendant's unexpected demeanor and the shocking details revealed during the proceedings. Throughout the trial, the prosecutor presented a series of strong pieces of evidence, including surveillance footage, autopsy results, and Valentina's messages and calls, which made it clear that her death was not an accident, but a premeditated act. Forensic experts confirmed that Valentina had been strangled and suffered injuries from powerful blows, proving that she endured a brutal assault. The case of Valentina Trespalacios left a profound mark on society, not only due to the severity of the crime, but also because of its powerful impact on the community and the painful lessons it imparted. Her death sparked widespread outrage and served as a stark warning about the dangers of possessive, jealous, and controlling relationships. This case brought greater awareness to the issue of abuse in romantic relationships, where behaviors that may seem harmless can often mask emotional and physical violence. The attention the case garnered prompted many social organizations and women's rights movements to speak out, leading to powerful campaigns aimed at raising awareness about gender-based violence and ensuring women's safety. The key takeaway from this case is the importance of identifying and addressing the signs of toxic relationships. When love is overshadowed by control, jealousy, and suspicion, it is no longer healthy, but becomes a form of psychological and physical harm. Valentina's story forces people to reconsider how they perceive and handle hidden dangers in relationships, as well as the importance of safeguarding women's rights and safety. With the strict sentence given to John Poulos, the case of Valentina Trespalacios not only closed a tragic chapter, but also opened an important dialogue about love, control, and violence. While justice has been served, the pain and lessons from this case remain. It is a reminder that everyone deserves to live in a healthy relationship, founded on respect and equality.